Hello, I hope you're doing well, and if not, I hope this video can help you relax a bit and bring you some comfort. Today, I will be designing and building a cozy winter cabin in the middle of this frozen lake on this tiny island here, and I thought it would be fun to share my thought process as I figure out the design of this little build. So I will be taking you through my design choices and challenges, and you can see how the build comes together. This video will be in long play format, which means real-time gameplay and commentary with only a few edits here and there. So grab a snack and your beverage, get comfy, and let's start building. So here's our little build area. It's this little island here in the middle of this frozen lake, and I think I would like to have some sort of cabin-like build out here. But I wanted to have a little bit more of an, I mean, not quite ancient feel to it, but an older feel. Like, I want it to look like it's a cabin that's been here for quite some time. And it's going to have a lot of stone in it, and I want it to kind of be worked into the environment a little bit. And that's really it. Those are my starting thoughts here. So I think I want this to come out a little bit and have some sort of stone archway entry, something like that. Not exactly like that. Just doing a rough outline. Oop, hello. Let's see. I always feel pretty unsure of myself at this stage. Just because, like, I can't visualize what it's going to look like. And I don't know, it's hard to see how it's going to come together when I really, I can't see it at this stage, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that's pretty large if all I wanted is like a little side entry. So I almost wonder, maybe we do it more this way. Okay, and then that'll be our stone arch entry. Okay, so here are my thoughts so far. I had the thought that I wanted to have this little, archway stone entry thing here. And I somehow wanted that to attach to a wooden structure as well, like a wooden portion of the building. And then I was also thinking I would like some sort of balcony off of it. So that's what this is representing here right now. It does not look like much at the moment. But what I was thinking right now is that maybe over this stone portion of the building here, I could have a sloped roof coming down from the wooden building. So I might take a look at what that could look like. And yeah, I will probably not stay with this block palette. I'm kind of just focusing more on, I don't know, like the general feel of the material that I want. Like I want something that feels very stone and heavy and solid, and then alongside some sort of wooden structure. But I might not necessarily use this stone and this wood. It's just a temporary representation, I guess. Although, to be fair, I do end up using spruce and cobble quite often, so maybe I'll just keep it. You never know. Alright, so how would a slope come down from here? And what would that look like? Oh, I don't even know where you would go. So this arch might have to not be quite so high as well. Let's see. Okay, so we could do something like that. Okay, that is a start. So we'll have that there, and that's going to come off of this this building over here. So I suppose the next thing I could start considering is how tall do I want this middle building to be? And I think I might actually want the roof to face this way. Oh, actually, one thing that I am definitely missing is some kind of fireplace. So I will have to figure out where that is going to go, because that's basically a must in a winter cabin. It's going to be a really cozy fireplace. All right, let's see if this roof is too tall. It's a bit up there. It's a bit up there. I don't know how I feel about that. I could, oops, wrong block. I could just add a little pop-out window in the roof to kind of break it up a little bit, so it's not just all roof at the top there. So yeah. It does feel a bit too tall to me. Yeah, I think so. Not by a lot, but by enough that it feels disproportionate in a way. So I'm gonna try and work on that. I could break it up with something in the center there. Oh, actually, you know what? That could fix the problem. Okay, so right now, at least to my little eyes, this roof looks too tall. Just this building looks very tall and narrow, and for whatever reason, I don't quite like the shape of it. So I'm just gonna go with that and try and fix that. And one way I was thinking of fixing that is adding a another little pop-out roof here, which could actually work out really well, as it could come out over the porch here, which is a feature that I wanted to have anyway. Another way we could solve that, I think what's bothering me about this is that it's so narrow and tall. I could just make it wider. I could just make it a little bit wider, and I think that would feel better. And that would give me more room for the roof up here in the middle as well. So yeah, those are the things I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make this wider so it doesn't feel so awkwardly tall and narrow. And I'm gonna add a pop-out roof here that's gonna go over this, what's that called? Balcony. This little balcony porch covered area that we're gonna have over here. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay. I think that feels better in terms of proportions. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish filling this out here. Or at least the outline of it. Alright, so where is this roof gonna come out from? Here. I could make it pretty wide. Like there. Yeah, let's see how that looks. Alright, so that's... Oh, I missed one. There we go. Like that. Let's see. Okay, that's one short of meeting up with that one, with the back of it there, which I think is fine. Yeah, I like that. That's not bad. And then what I wanted to do was have this, come out here a little bit to cover up the, what do you call it? Patio. Let's see. I'm just gonna put a placeholder block for the actual flooring of the little balcony area. And you can always change this out later on. But I think it's gonna end up being at this level, because this is gonna be our second floor, I think. Yeah, that should be fine. So, like here, come out like that. And something like that. And then this would all come out here to cover that. Let's see, I wonder if I should have some sort of support connecting this overhang to the balcony as well. Maybe this one's out just a little bit too far. I don't think I need to go out that many blocks in front of it. I think it's okay if it kind of just lines up with it here. So let's see. Okay, so something like that. It is a little bit hard to tell without the actual like walls of the main building filled in. It's kind of hard to see how things line up, and I feel like I should maybe fill this in a little bit just so I can get a better idea of how everything is looking. So let's see. That could actually make for an interesting window frame there too. Ooh, that's an idea. So what if we did like little windows there, like that, and then let's grab maybe a stripped spruce. I may change these out later, we'll see, but just to go with what I have here so far. Obviously we'll need a little door here. How do I feel about that? I don't know. It feels like the features that I'm adding are kind of getting lost, and they're not standing out like I would like them to. And I think that has to do with my color palette choice here. Everything is very similar. There's not a whole lot of differentiation in value or like actual hue, like the actual color. Like I'm just using spruce on spruce here, and there's not a lot of actual variation between the like spruce logs and the stripped spruce. And I feel like I'm not able to easily see the features, like the windows and the balcony and all of this as a result of that. Hopefully that made sense. The lighting is not helping either. It is kind of dark, so it is kind of just harder to see. So with that in mind though, because I do want to keep the lighting this sort of sunset, sunrise kind of thing, maybe I will switch out these blocks to something else then that would help them stand out a bit more. So what's one way we could do that? I'm realizing how often or how little rather, I build in this snowy environment. I'm not actually sure what blocks would work well here. Let me see. Oh, what about like a terracotta or something like that? Or this white terracotta. Let's see. I'm just gonna play with some colors until I find something that looks right. The difficulty in using these is that I don't have like all the other block variants with it. Like I really wish I had a terracotta like stair or slab or you know a trapdoor, something like that, right? That would be great. But you're like very limited with what you can do in terms of like shaping things, just because all I have is this one block type. I would have to find another block type that has, you know, those variants that is like a comparable color. And I don't know that I have that. I could try this. I could try the warped wood with it, and that would give me some more options. It does stand out a bit more, but honestly still not as much as I would like. Actually, maybe oak would even be a good option. I could try that. Let's see how those look together. I was thinking about trying some different colors for the fencing, the little trim that I have with this, just to see if I can make this stand out a little bit more and make the build look a little bit more interesting. I feel like it's kind of just blending into the background a little bit as it is right now, and I might want it to stand out a little bit more. So I'm just gonna try a few options and see how that looks. Let's see. Also, another thing I wanted to try is I'm gonna try using these, the shelves here, and see if I can do something interesting with that. What if I did some kind of framing with like this and a trapdoor? Okay, maybe a different color though. It still feels like it's just kind of blending in. It's not really adding a lot. So let me try to make it stand out a little bit more with a different color. I keep saying that and then I reach for a new color and I'm like, yeah, I don't like that color either. But I don't know. Let's see. I'll keep trying. I'll find something. Could try dark oak as well. Let's give that a try. Does that stand out better? Okay, that's kind of interesting. I don't hate that. So maybe that instead. I was going to try and create some sort of arch over it on top of these, what will be two pillars, one on either side here. But I'm not a huge fan of that. We could just go straight across as well. So like that. That's not bad. If I go one higher, I could hang a lantern there in the middle. I could also hang a lantern from the top. Now that I'm looking at it, I feel like we could fit a window in this top spot over here too. So that could also work. Okay, that's coming together a little bit better, maybe. I still want to fix the railing of this. Let's see. Okay, one thing at a time. So let me go ahead and put this other side in over here. So also, I kind of want to test out some roof colors here. And I think I might want to keep it a darker color. I could have maybe a pop of color in the roof and do something totally different. I wonder if that would look very out of place. All right, so that is what we have so far. We're definitely missing some lighting, so I can start adding those in. I might actually want to try some of these oxidized copper lanterns. And I'm also going to try the classic lantern. So let's see here. I think I'll stick with the classic lantern for this one. But I didn't hate the copper lantern either. But I think for this, I'm just going to stick with the copper lantern. And I'm going to fill in the rest of this in here as well. There, like that. Okay, that is maybe coming together just a little bit more. Okay, honestly, it's kind of simple, but I don't mind it. I ended up getting rid of the window in the back there because it was just going to get covered up by this little bit of like support, I guess like a support beam, kind of decorative support beam that I have at the top here. So I thought that having those two details like on top of each other would just make them uh, harder to see what they are. So I just got rid of the window in favor of this like little fencing piece in front of that. I do wish that this lantern wasn't sitting directly on this detail here, which is maybe a kind of picky detail, but I don't know why that is sort of bothering me just a tiny bit. I just wish it didn't go down quite so low. Let's see, I guess there could be ways around that. I could, instead of fencing, I could use some trapdoors and slabs instead. And that would raise the lantern up a little bit. So let's try that out maybe. And let's see, that would have to sit. Oh, I can't see anything now. Okay, there we go. That would have to sit. Where is the full block? Like there. Right? Yeah. Let's see, how do I do this? That's what I want. There we go. And like that's basically. Okay, I do not like that as much. So I think my only other option is to just lower this by one, or else raise the entire roof by one, and I don't think I want to do that. So I think I will just come in here with the fences once again, like that, and add back my lantern, and I'm just gonna lower this whole thing here by one block, and I think that'll be fine. So let's do that, and let's just bring all of this down by like one. Okay, how's that look? Honestly, I don't like it as much. Okay, honestly, it was fine how it was, so I'm just gonna go back to what I had. I tend to do that a lot, where I see something that is standing out to my eye as just feeling off, and I try to fix it, and ultimately end up going back to what I had, because the whatever I decided to fix it with was not better. So this is one of those times. So that I think is fine as it is. I'm seeing now that one end of my roofing is out farther than the other, so I'm gonna fix that. There we go. That is better. And I almost wonder, should I bring this out one more as well? Like that. Oh, I could, actually, if this is really that annoying to me for whatever reason, I could just do that as well. Yeah, that could work. I don't know if I like it better, again. Let's see. Forgot to add back in my oak stair. Here it is. There we go. Okay. Let me add that back in there. And I'm stuck. Okay. Alright, so that is what we have so far. I think maybe I want to start messing around with the windows, because that's going to be another light source for this build. That is something I like to try to consider, at least, is the light sources of the build, because that is a good way to highlight the details that I want to highlight and bring attention to the parts of the build that I want to stand out a little bit more. So I know the windows, I will have some lighting in there, so it will look different once I add that. So I feel like I should maybe add that in so I can get a sense of how that looks with the lighting in the windows. Yeah. And then I'm gonna have to figure out this whole little stone side building here is gonna be, I don't know, hopefully not too difficult. It might be. We'll see. I'm hoping to kind of shape it, and not have it come down as like a straight 90-degree angle to like the ground there. I want some like kind of, I might as well show, instead of saying, let's see, slabs here. Let's see, and some stairs and some walls with it as well. So I'm hoping that I will be able to kind of shape this into something that is somewhat organic looking, even. Almost like the stone already existed and we just decided to build a house on top of it. Maybe not quite to that level, but something like that. So I'm hoping to kind of, in some way, make it somewhat organic and shape it a little bit. I'm also not going to use 100% cobblestone for all of it. I'll probably go through and texture that up a little bit because this is looking a little busy to me at least. So I'll try and fix that up, I think. But that's what I'm thinking for that. So back to the windows. Now I have a few options for adding a lighting to the windows. I could just put a lantern on the inside, and then put some trapdoors or fencing even. So maybe we should start with that then. Let's see. Oh, actually, what if I could do it like this instead? And then put a little lantern there, and then put a trapdoor on top of it. Although this is not gonna work. I left a gap there accidentally, so I could do that instead. Honestly, it's simple. It does work. And I'm changing my mind on that again. I think I actually want that there instead. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this same window thing over here with a little lantern in there. And there. Okay. That is not horrible. I will say I wish I had a thinner support beam here for this little roof bit here. And I wish it was maybe a different color. So, oh, actually, what if I use, what's it called? Yeah, I wonder if this would fit. The mud brick wall. I wonder if I could replace this spruce with that. Would that work a little bit better? Actually, maybe? Maybe? Maybe. I don't know. I almost want it to be in one too. It is kind of hard when you're working with a kind of small space like this. It feels like I move, you know, like one little thing over one block, and it makes like a huge difference. I don't like that better now. Alright, I got one more thing I want to try to make this work. So another option for this is I could use the spruce fence like I had before, but in order to make it wider, I could attach it to a trapdoor here. So it'll attach to that and it'll just be a little bit wider. And maybe that'll give the effect I'm looking for here. Actually, yeah, I maybe slightly prefer that. Although, I'm wondering if this should be dark oak instead. And I should probably put this trapdoor here that I have attached on the other side, so that I can continue to make my little beam here, because I won't be able to attach this there. And I could just do that too. That's true. Okay, anyways. Let's go ahead and try this with dark oak instead. And with this. There. Okay. Can you even tell the difference? that I have changed that. Honestly, not really, especially with the dark oak. It really just blends into that back beam that I have there. Maybe I want to remove the back beam. Maybe I don't actually need that. Um, Hopefully I am being clear with what I mean. So I really like to think about the lines that I'm making in the build, since that's what I use to kind of help give the features that I'm adding to the build, you know, their structure, their shape. It helps them stand out, and I like to use lines a lot when I do that. So I tend to think about where those lines are going and how they're standing out a lot. And right now, the current lines that I have here are, you know, I have this beam here, I have that beam there, and I've got this little cross section here in the middle, and I've got that there. And I'm probably being overly picky with it, but I feel like this beam in the background here is I don't know, it's just kind of distracting in a way. I'm just curious, what would it look like without it? If I just had just this front part here instead, does that... Yeah, actually I do think I like that better. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and replace the little back beam there with this trapdoor and fencing combo up front here. Alright, and while I'm here, I'm just gonna add in this second floor here. Alright, so that is how we are coming along so far. Let's go ahead and maybe try to add a bit more structure to this, maybe? Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's see, I could just do the same thing that I have up here with the trapdoor and the fence and carry that same kind of structural support design down here on this lower layer. Yeah, that feels right, I think. So let's go ahead and get rid of some of these placeholder blocks here, and we'll start figuring out this bottom layer. I think there's obviously still things to add up here, but I think there's some good progress there at least to start out with. Let's see here. Okay, so that's cleaned up a bit at least. And I realized I actually kind of forgot the door. I could just go with a simple spruce door. That would be fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'll leave that for now. That may change, but I will leave it for now. And let's go ahead and carry down the same block pattern down here so that it looks kind of cohesive, like that. Okay. And then, you know, I may do the same thing down here where I get rid of this beam layer here. So let's do that. Okay. Alright. So yeah, same thing with that. We'll just get rid of that. Let's carry this over on the other side here. Make sure I actually line them up. There we go. Okay, so that is what we have so far. Honestly, I think I am going to be boring and do the exact same window design on the bottom here, just to keep that looking consistent. Okay, so that is what we have there. Basically, the bottom is the same as this top section here. I was also thinking about having a little like elevated section maybe coming up here. That might be nice. So we could have that with a staircase coming in. To do something like that. Although, so I don't dislike that. And I wouldn't mind having the walls here with the lanterns. But I think I might also want to carry over the same pattern that I had up there. Just to make it look a little bit more cohesive. So I think I will just do the same pattern again on the bottom. I might have to bring this out one more to make it fit. It's gonna go all the way up instead of having the little cross section there, but I think that's fine. Oh, you know what? I should have this top block be the shelves again instead of the trapdoor. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay. I think that works pretty well. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that off. Alrighty. And you know what? Might as well put the same door on as well. Oop, there we go. Okay, so this is what we are looking like so far. I think I will also try to start adding the door in and stuff like that and see how that works. So let's try and make this a bit more curved so we can have a stone archway. So maybe just the slabs will work. We could try the wall too. Oh, you know what? I could put the stone brick variant in there as well. In the texturing that I have here. Yeah, I think that helps. Okay, so for this, how do I want this to come down? Okay, that's not bad. Actually though, now that I'm looking at it, I think I would like this slope here, the roof, to be not at such a high incline, to be a little bit more gradual. So I think I am going to redo this roof really quick. So instead of going like that, we can go up a little bit more gradually. Okay. Sorry, I stopped talking for a little bit. I just had to think, and I think this is a little bit of an improvement. So I ended up, um, like giving myself a little bit of a patio all the way around here with the wood, which I feel like ties it together a little bit better. I don't know, something about just this full stone building off to the side here felt really, really disconnected from the rest of the build to me. So I was trying to find a way to make it feel, I don't know, more like it just kind of fit in with the rest of the build style. So I uh, made the door and the window fit the, I don't know, the sizing and the style of this door and window a little bit more rather than the big archway thing that I was trying to do. And I also just added more wood over here. And I'm gonna carry over this whole little wooden piece around here and make another little patio thing, kind of similar to this balcony that I have up here. And I think that will help this whole thing feel a little bit more like cohesive and like kind of tied together. And then I definitely like the idea of having a chimney come out of here, but I'll work on it and shape it a little bit better. It's just a straight line right now. So I will add that as well. And that is where we're at. Yeah. So I think this will work a little bit better. Let's see. I'm gonna try adding in the trapdoors around it just to make sure it doesn't feel too cramped when I do that. I suppose I don't have to add those in, but I am gonna try it at least. Oops. Okay, yeah, I think that's fine. And then have that come forward. And then I should probably have this actually attached there. Okay. I think that's fine. Although I could actually do this same thing here. I'm just gonna try this with the trapdoor and fence here to see if I like that as well. I do not. I think I'll just keep the lock. I think that'll be fine. So like that. Okay. Okay, and I'm thinking that I might actually try using brick for the chimney instead of stone. Just to see how that looks. So let's see. Let's see. I could also add a little bit of spruce leaves kind of scattered around the front here. Yeah, I think that is a nice nice little touch of greenery. And then I was thinking of also adding some berry bushes. Could add those over here as well. Okay. And let's see. I also would like some lanterns in the front. And then I also like to add a button to these logs here, just for some extra detail. Oh, I won't be able to put one there because of that. That's okay. You won't see it anyways. Oh, same with that one. Okay, that's fine. So I could use the stairs to make a tiny window instead of like a full-size window, and I feel like that kind of fits the space just a little bit better, so I might do that. I don't know, for whatever reason I am really struggling with this tiny space over here. I am having a hard time adding everything that I want to add, and it just feels very cramped every time I try to add things in. So I am struggling with that just a little bit. And I'm not sure how to fix it quite yet. So let's see. Okay, that could work. Actually, yeah, that could work. It's a little bit higher than I would like, but I don't know. I don't dislike it. Let me try adding a window pane on it, and let's see how that looks. Oh, that's a lot. How does it look on this side? Interesting. I do not know how I feel about that. It definitely still feels very plain as well. Like I'm missing shutters on it, or an awning, or something. Yeah, this whole area here is still just kind of a mess. Let's just put that back. Okay, so maybe I don't do that. What if this actually goes up a step? Does that help? Kind of. Yeah, I think that kind of helps a little bit. I would even just plant some of these over here. These, what are they called? The firefly bush? That's kind of cute, actually. Okay, I feel like that's looking a little bit more cozy, a little bit more like what I have in mind for this. Where did my door go? There it is. Okay. Oh. Oh. There we go. Okay. I thought I didn't leave enough space for myself. Nope. Alright, so how is that looking? Okay, a little bit better. And then if I can just have a little thing above the window there. Okay, that's feeling a lot better, I think. Let me add a lantern to the other side of the window there so that we get enough lighting. Oh, I'm missing a stair here. There we go. Okay. I can just put one up here. I think I'll be fine. Alright. Okay. That is feeling a lot better, I think. This still feels a little too plain, and I should probably texture it. Now that I'm kind of done changing around the structure of it. So we should do that. Okay, that's looking a little bit better. I would like to try adding a little bit more wood to this structure. So maybe just a couple of fence posts kind of lining it there like that. And let's see. I think that helps a little bit. I wonder if I can scoot this one over one more so that I can keep my grass on the other side here. Let's see. Okay, I think that's okay. And that is honestly most of the front side of the building, I think. I'm trying to see if there's anything else over here that I want to try adding, and I think, yeah, that's pretty much it. I could texture this a little bit here with the oak. I could add some oak planks in there. I think that would help a little bit break this up. Just a tiny bit. You don't have to add too much, just a little bit. Yeah, that's better. And then this is also a really similar color to oak. I wonder if that would look good, kind of textured in there as well. Okay, and I think that is officially that side of the build. We still have this side over here to kind of decide what to do with, as well as the back side here. I think I would like to carry this around here, so let's just go ahead and do that really quick. Okay, and yep, that is that. So maybe for this back side of the build, I was thinking we could have a kind of larger window maybe, so that you can look out and see the mountains and the trees and everything. So yeah, that might be nice. Or actually I wonder if this is the better spot for a large window so you can watch the sunset. So maybe either of those places we could add something like that. I still kind of have to finish up this area over here as well. Might as well fill this in really quickly. And let's see. I wonder, I could do another roof pop out on this side as well, just to kind of mirror the front part of it. And then we could have a big window over here. Maybe. I don't know. Or on the side. I'm not really sure yet. I will just have to kind of place some things down and see what works. But yeah, either of those I think would be fine. Honestly, this placement of the chimney here is probably a fire hazard, and I don't think it would ever exist like this in real life. Yeah, you're just asking for your roof to catch on fire here. This is poor placement. I guess I could move it. It doesn't actually matter, like it's not gonna actually catch on fire in the game, but I can't unsee it now. I might have to move that. That's gonna bug me. Okay, so I have started adding a rather large pop-out window here on the back. And I do want it to come out a little bit, and I would like it to be lined, I think with spruce, maybe? So we could do alternating stair, trapdoor, and do it like that to kind of create an interesting little bottom trim to it. And then I'm gonna come in here and fill in the rest of this with oak, and then add the window to it. So let's see. Okay, that's not bad. I will probably add a little flower pot over there with another spruce sapling, just to kind of carry over what we had in the front of the build, like that. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, I think that's pretty cute. So I'm kind of thinking about adding another little pop-out section to the building over here. I'm not exactly sure what that will be, but I feel like maybe it could use just a small section over here with something. It's just feeling a bit too plain. I mean, obviously I haven't added anything yet, but even with just adding windows on here, I think that will feel a little too plain. So I might add just one more little section, or something. It needs another little feature over here. I could do a staircase maybe going up. That's something we could try. Let's see. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's see. So, let me grab some spruce here. I feel like I could bring this forward maybe just one more block. Okay, so then the door would be right here. Alright. And let's see, we should probably carry over some of the same theming that I have on the rest of the building. So we'll do some more spruce logs and some spruce trapdoors. And then we could have a small covering for the entryway over here as well. Let's see. Could probably carry over this same material over here. Like that. Okay. Yeah, that's feeling a little bit better. I don't know if I love the staircase how I have it, but I definitely like the idea of having the staircase entry on the side here. And then maybe this little area over here could be a little storage area. Okay, so there's a little storage section in here. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I should add a crafting table. Yeah, let's do that. Do that here. Okay. Actually, maybe both of these. Like that. Okay, yeah, that's nice. So there's a little storage section and crafting table under the staircase here. I think I like that. I kind of wouldn't mind this coming down a little bit lower, but I don't think I'm gonna fuss about it too much. I think it's fine as it is. Yeah, I think this is fine as it is. Okay, and another thing I was thinking that I could add is maybe a bit of lumber off to the side here. So, like maybe over here, could have some like logs that have been cut down. And could make it look like they've been kind of tied down with some railway. Let's see. Maybe like that. Just a little bit of lumber off to the side. Could also have maybe another little fireplace section off to the side here too. And I think I also want a few chairs around the fireplace over there. So let's see. Where did my signs go? Oh, there you are. Okay. So I think I'm just going to use the oak slabs and some signs to do that. Let's see here. Just make a few little chairs. Okay, so I was gonna put just some little windows down there, but I almost wonder if we have room for like a very small horse stable or even just like a little cow pen or something like that. I don't know. I'm also trying to think like what would actually be in this environment. I'm on this tiny island here, so I feel like there's maybe not a whole lot of use for a horse. And like, what is the cow gonna eat out here? Um, but I don't know. Just a thought. Um, I guess I could add a little cow pen. But again, I don't know what the cow is eating. There's not a lot of grass around here. I could just stick with the windows too. Either way, I think I'm gonna push back this section here just a little bit so that I have a little bit more room down here, because this is just kind of an awkward space. So I'm gonna push back this whole hill here, and then I'll figure out what I'm gonna add on the backside of this building here. Okay, so there's a little bit more room there now. I guess another thing to think about would be where I want the staircase to go on the inside. Because I need that to not cover up any of the windows as well. So, let's see here. Where would be a good place for a staircase in here? Oh, actually this wall over here. Just as long as it doesn't like awkwardly line up with the door over here, I think that would actually be a decent spot for a little staircase. So let me see if I can fit that over there. Where are you at, stairs? There. Okay. So let's see. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that doesn't work. So I can't really put that there. I could try and do it the other way. Let's see if I can fit it going across the other way. I feel like the answer may be no, but I'm gonna give it a try. Okay, that can work. I'll just have to use a slab there instead. Where is that? Spruce slab. So oh, no. Actually, I think I need to use a trapdoor. Does that work? Okay, that works, but I don't like how close that is to my head when I walk down. That is uncomfortable. So I think I will probably actually just put the staircase going up this wall instead. I think that'll be a lot easier. So I will have to think about that when I'm looking at these windows over here. So let's see, where should we put that? Okay, so the door is like over there. But we should have plenty of room. So could have it come up over here. Okay, so maybe our staircase goes up this way. Okay, that is not bad. And then maybe along here. I actually just do like a bunch of storage or something, so that this isn't a walk space, because that one block wall space there with the staircase there is just a little bit awkward. So instead, I'll probably just make this be a little storage section, and we can have some like shelving and stuff like that over here with a little bit of decoration. And then let's get some railing on the staircase here. There. That is a bit awkward, because now how does anybody get to these? Okay. Maybe I don't put it there. Maybe I put the staircase over here, and it'll help separate this little section of the build, this little stone section, from the rest of it. Okay. I will find a spot for this eventually. I think maybe this will be better. Let's try this over here. Alright, that definitely needs some work still. But it does work. Okay, so that means that I have plenty of space for 3 windows over here if I want to do that. It does feel just a little bit cramped in here. I wish this roof was up like one more. Or I guess, you know, I don't have to have the floor come up to this level. I could have it stay down where it was and just have a small stair that leads to the entry here. So I feel like the ceiling is just a bit too low. I'm not quite hitting my head, but there's also just not a lot of space at the top there. So I might just lower this down back where it was. I think that'll be better. There are just so many stairs in here. All of this could have been avoided if this was like the ceiling here was up one level higher. I'm also kind of just missing a big cozy fireplace when I come in here. Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely missing a big fireplace in here. That maybe, and then change that out, and like that. Okay, that definitely feels a lot more cozy in here. That helps a lot. And then if I could get some sort of kind of guard here like that could work. Okay, that's not bad. It still feels a bit large for the room, and I would like to texture it a little bit, but that's not bad, I think. Let's see, I could... that's a bit much. Yeah, okay. And then I think I would also like some sort of decoration on it. Like that. Okay, that is... yeah, I like that. I think I might try to add a little like cow pen or something like that over here to the side. Just to fill up this space a little bit. So it's not going to be a very large little pen because I don't have a lot of room over here, but I'm thinking maybe just something in this little space right here. With like a little covering on it. And I might have to make it one shorter just to actually fit here. Okay, let's get some lighting in here, and I think we will be pretty much done with the little pen. Let's see. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. I don't think it will be able to get out with that. And then can have some water in here. There. Oh my gosh. You're so cute. Oh, hello. Okay. So we have our cow. It is adorable. And then I just need to add some more details on that little end over there. We could have like a small garden even over here next to our little cow pen. And I think, I keep saying I think it's almost done. It really is almost done. There's just a few more little spots here and there that I need to finish adding details on. And yeah, this is what we have so far. Okay, so I actually just did the last little details off camera because I already had a lot of footage, and it was getting to the point where the amount of editing I was going to have to do was going to be a bit overwhelming. So I hope you don't mind. I did a little bit of stuff off camera, but I did add in a little garden over here, like I mentioned before. Just have a nice little wheat garden for our cow here. And I finished filling out the last few details. I think this section here, I pretty much just mirrored the same design as the front of this little side build here. I added some details kind of around the patio. Like I have some storage here with just some barrels and a little lantern. Let's see. Anything else that I added? I have this section here, which I'm pretty sure I already showed. I have just a little storage section for like chopping wood and things like that for our fireplace and, you know, just keeping our little home nice and warm here. And let's go ahead and take a look inside. I did the interior as well, and this is how that turned out. So here is our little living room. We get a nice cozy couch here next to a brick fireplace. I have a little library section over here with some books and some storage and just some decoration, little bits of decoration here and there. And then we have some rare plants here. I guess not rare, maybe rare in this area in our region here. They would be rare plants, I suppose. So we have a bit of a plant collection in here, a little bit of decoration on the walls, and then I used the shelving here as a bit of a room separator because this staircase over here was really awkward. So this was my way of kind of breaking that up. So I made a little small wall here with the shelves just to section off the staircase going up, so you can go upstairs here to the bedroom, or you can come in here to the kitchen. And we have like a little, you know, fire, wood burning oven here. I have some fresh baked bread here that we're making. We've got our little sink here, and we've got some fish prepping on the cutting board here. We've got some cake and some shelving, little cabinets up here with the barrels, and that is pretty much it. It's a very small kitchen. It's a small space, so I couldn't do too much in here, but I am happy with how this turned out actually. But that is it. That is our kitchen. So the last little bit is upstairs. Ooh. And this is actually one of the more spacious rooms. I suppose I could have divided this up and tried to section it off into something else, but I kind of just left it open and spacious, and it's just kind of a cozy, almost loft feeling bedroom, I suppose, with like the open staircase down there. It does feel a little loft-like, at least to me. So what we have in here for the bedroom is we have our bed here with some bookshelves again and some storage, and we have a nice little desk over here in this corner with some art hanging on the wall here, and we have our little armor stand over here. We have some nice shelving and decoration, and that is pretty much it for the bedroom. It does feel quite closed in. The windows are a little small, but we do have this nice balcony that we can come out to outside with the view of the lake and everything out here. And yeah, that's nice. We also have our side staircase over here where we have our little berry garden that we can pick from. And yeah, we can exit right from that staircase to go up to the bedroom up here. And then in addition to that, we have our little attic crawl space. Again, just some more storage up here, little cobwebs here, and just a little bit of lighting and just, I don't know, it's kind of cozy up here. It's really just a small space, so there wasn't too much I could do up here. But yeah, I just decided to make a little attic crawl space up here as well. And that is it for the video. I just want to say, if you are still here, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit and watching the video. And I will see you next time. Bye.